Hello, YouTube. Good evening. Tonight the topic is pink money. And first of all, let's introduce ourselves. Junior, please, can you start?
Of course. Hello, everyone. Good evening. I am Junior. I'm 20 years old and I'm bisexual. Not exactly in this order. Uh, I'm an English teacher, uh, which is currently working as a social media analyst. It's so fancy to say that. I'm a social media analyst. Yeah, that's it. I have the pink money. Deal with it. Uh, I am Mineiro, which is currently suffering from an intense lack of Mineiro cheese. I need to go to Minas as soon as possible. And that's pretty much it.
Great. You said you have the pink money. And Junior, I want to know from you if do you think that companies are aware of this power and are trying to take some advantage of pink money?
Of course. The example of it is as soon as June is over, all the companies that are all having the rainbow flag in their logos, in their posts, they're all going to forget that LGBT people exist. So that's pretty much it. In June 1st, everyone remembers, oh my God, queer people, they live. And on the 30th of June, they're like, oh my God, queer people, bye. So, yeah.
Great. Thanks, Julia. Brunan, and you, please, can you introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm really happy to be the only woman here, right, kind of representing us. I live in São Paulo. I work as a teacher, just like you, just like Junior. Sorry, not you, Leo. In future, I've been working here on TNT as a community manager too. I like dancing. I like forró, pagode, samba. I like sleeping. And I think that's it about me.
Great. And Bruno, do you think that companies are trying to take some advantage of pink money?
I guess Juno summarized it pretty well, but yes. And it was nice to, not nice, but it was funny to see some influencers making fun of it in the beginning of the month, some memes and everything, just making fun of this strategy companies use. But maybe this is the reflex of capitalism and trying to sell everything and take advantage of everything in order to make money, so yes.
And yeah, it's a community and they have some consumer power. So let's try to take some advantage of it. And you, Wendell.
Hello, everyone. My name is Edel Miller. I'm a geologist, and I don't have any pink number, not money at all, and pink money and nothing. Unfortunately, I would like to. About the question, I'm sure, that the company are trying to take advantage of this celebration. But as you know, the way Bruno says the same, I totally agree that is the capitalism. The capitalism always trying to take advantage of everything. So it's not necessary, good, because in certain point it's just enjoying something that is just has happening the surface. So it's a kind of they need to do more. A lot, in my opinion.
Great, thanks, Angel. And Flavio, are you here?
Yes. Hi, guys. Good
Hey,
evening.
good evening, Flavio. Can you introduce yourself, please?
Yes, my name is Flavio. I'm 21 years old. I'm from São Paulo. I live in Rio de Janeiro. That's it.
Great. Flavio, tonight the topic is pink money. Basically, it's the purchase power of LGBT community. So we're discuss here how some companies are using this power to influence some people to buy their products and try to make LGBT people consuming their products. Okay.
Okay.
And I want to know from you, if do you think that companies are aware of the pink money and they try to take some of it advantage of it?
Yes, I think yes, because we are living in a moment when we are free people to be what we want to be. We want to be. We want to be, and I think the companies uh, are aware of the power about the pink money, and we can see some companies when where they sell. How can I say vender? Sell.
Yes.
Sell more some products to the population, and I think yes.
Great. Yeah, in this month we see so many products with rainbow, and it's basically what happens in June. Thanks, Flavio. And you, Faye, can you introduce yourself, please?
Yes, sure thing. I'm Philip. I'm fluent in Spanish and English. Eh, Just kidding. I'm here to talk. It's been a while that I don't join this, don't attend this meeting. I live in São Paulo, and I have been trying to do a lot of stuff and to solve problems. So that's been basically what I do now. And about the topic, about the first question, definitely the companies, businesses, they are definitely following the trend, because they want to be more into the community, and they realize that the LGBT community has a lot of money involved and they can sell this and that. So yeah, totally. They are taking a lot of advantage of it. So, on the other hand, the good thing is awareness about the community and questions about everything. It's important and it's good, but I don't know what you think about if it's worth it or not,
Yeah, it's basically a game where companies sell some products, make some advertisements, but at the same time, they're just trying to catch the pink money. And you, Jefferson, can you introduce yourself, please?
Okay, good evening, guys. I'm Jefferson. I live in Goiânia, Goiás. I'm economist and professor of Catholic University of Goiás.
Great, Jefferson.
I'm just a little bit later. I have problem to access this meeting now.
No
Yeah.
problem.
But go ahead.
We are just starting. Jefferson, tonight the topic is pink money. And do you receive the questions on the chat?
Yeah,
Great.
I received them.
And pink money, it's basically the money from LGBTQIA community. And we're discuss about how this money is used from this population and how companies use this spirit to attract this community to buy their products. Okay.
It's okay.
And the first question is, do you think that companies are aware of the pink money and are trying to take advantage of it?
Yeah, I believe everything in the world now must be monetized, and you can separate it. Pink money, black money, and a lot of kinds of money today in our society. And Bitcoin money, stock monies, you must separate this kind of thing for groups. And I know a lot of guys, not here in Goiânia, but in São Paulo, you have a lot of buildings just for LGBT community. They can send buildings, apartment, just for this community. And that, I think this is a kind of pink money.
Again, and especially it's a way to attract the LGBT community. Great, guys. So companies are aware of it. And I want to know from you if it's possible to avoid companies that don't care about the LGBT community and are only interested in their money. Basically, companies who sell products with rainbows but don't hire it the LGBT communities to their companies. Bruna, I will start with you.
Wait, I didn't get it, Lau. Can you say it again, please?
Is it possible to avoid companies that don't care about the LGBT communities and are only interested in the money?
To avoid this movement?
Yes. To avoid those companies who are just interested in the big money, but basically don't hire this community.
I got you. Yeah, I think it's important to see the movement of the company throughout the year, not just in June, and to see if they are really engaged in the topic, or if they are just, I don't know, sharing photos, and if they have a beautiful speech, but if their actions really match with their speech, so I think it is possible, and maybe it's kind of not, I wouldn't say easy, but maybe it's simple to identify these companies, through their posts, through their actions, mainly nowadays with social media. We can see on Twitter a lot of companies being mentioned and being exposed, and I think it is possible. That's it.
Yeah, especially on LinkedIn, many companies use the rainbow on their profile pictures, and some multinational companies, they use this picture just countries where are allowed to be LGBT. So at the same time, I wanna give some support, but not in a country where I cannot do it. So yeah, it's a game. Flavio, and you?
I think yes, because when you participate this community, you have I think you have how can I say principios in English?
Principles.
Principles,
Yeah, or some fundamentals, I guess.
principles about what you believe, and I think you need or you can buy a product about in a company where the fundamental the principle is the oh my god, how can I say this in English?
Mesmo. Even.
Even what do you believe, and if uh, you can buy in a company what when you see the the company have the even uh, principle. I think yes.
Yeah, and as Bruna said, it's important to follow some companies during the whole year to just try to realize what they are doing and not just in this month. Thanks, Flavio. And you, Junior.
If it's possible to avoid companies, yeah, it's important to know like the companies that support the community, that hire people from the community, to be in touch with that. But I guess that there are some companies that it's almost impossible to avoid, like those big companies that are present in every single thing we do. I mean, we can try to avoid them, but in a given moment, it's kind of like be difficult. Not impossible though. You can find other alternatives. That's also something that's good because it gives us the chance of taking a look in smaller companies, small businesses that are really engaged to the cause and that really want to make the difference. So it's also a good way to like take a look at that and like avoid the big companies that already have a lot of money. They don't need our money anymore, and direct it to people that could actually like enjoy it and like enjoy the chance that we give when we buy from them. So that's also something good to do, especially companies owned and created by queer people, by people from the community.
Yeah, you said something really interesting because it's basically the one vision to not stop, not avoid companies who don't care about it, but support companies who support this movement. So it's not easy to know why companies do not do it, but it's it to know what companies support these movements. So it's basically a way to observe what companies, and it's a good place to buy some products. Thanks, Junior. And Felipe, I want to know from you if you have ever stopped to consume a company's products because you disagree with some action from this company.
Yeah, that's a good question. I've tried a lot of them, especially because of Bolsonaro's support. For example, Madeiro, but it's been quite hard sometimes. So I went to Madeiro. I have been to Madeiros recently, so it's been. But I remember every time I step in that place, I remember that the money I'm spending on that company is supporting a government that is killing the LGBT community, Black people, and killing a lot of other people, poor people especially. So, yeah, I try my best, but sometimes it's really difficult to, for example, I'm using a bank now that they have some attitudes that I do not agree with, but I have not too many options, and then you customize your way of living and a lot of things on some specific companies, and it's really hard to get out of that, something like that.
Yeah, it's basically be aware every time of the products that we buy, the bank that we are using, and the friends that we have. It's a huge problem. Jefferson and you, have you ever stopped to consuming a company's products because you disagree with its actions?
No, I have no problem with Madeiro. I have been there for many times. No problem about this. Unfortunately, I don't agree with this company, what the company is doing with this community. But I think it's impossible to avoid company because the companies are interested only in money, no matter where the monies come from LGBT community or Black community or white community, no matter. Companies must to make money all the time, no matter about this. But we have a movement in our society about, for example, gay rights movement that some companies respect, most of them, and the other not. But I think it's not possible to avoid. I think it's impossible to avoid because it's not a strong movement. It's because the company are changing the advertisement all the time. For example, we have a big problem with Carrefour in Rio Grande do Sul. It's a movement about the Black guy. So the other day, Carrefour changed all your politicians about this kind of movement. I think the company is the same. If the company is losing money about something that didn't agree or is the LGBT community, the company will change your advertisement, your way to earn money. Companies are making to make money, no matter the money was come from.
Yeah, I agree with you, and I think that at the same time they don't care aware of trying to embrace all the communities. For example, Carrefour have this problem with the black guy, and they change their the company. So they were aware because it was a huge problem to them. So they have to change to those community don't stop to consume their products. And actually, they suffered some economic problems because they stopped to no, Jesus, I forgot the word. The money that they were receiving from the population, it was less than before the problem with the problem that you said. So I think that some changes can be good for the company in some ways. Into.
Actually, I think it's hard, not impossible, because now we can see a lot of small company try to sell the same content or at least similar, and sometimes we have to go deep because we have watched a lot of people of the community being killed, and if you really want to change something, you need to be brave. You need to avoid that. I think it's hard. I think we agree that it's hard a lot, but we have to try. You have to be aware about the company that have supporting, this cause and trying to change the things, because we know that is a very deep structure in the society, because, it's about capitalism. We are talking about money. But now we have options I don't want to put my money, I don't want to leave my money there. I can do differently. It's an option. It's hard because you need to be informed a lot. You need to research a lot, knowing about, but it's your cause. We need to do that, because of course it's comfortable, just to choose something that is easy because it's near. But we have to think more oh my God, this is a whole structure that we need to change. It's hard, uncomfortable, it's uncomfortable, but it's necessary. And yeah, it's hard.
And there are a lot of their companies, they have like a lot of other companies. So sometimes you're avoiding one, but you're consuming from another one. It's from the same group. So it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but sometimes I think a lot in how how problematic and how bad and sad is the situation. Because, for example, if the people of the community reveal where they have been working. Imagining, the whole TV, the media, almost all the media, almost a lot of company, a lot of leaders in a lot of different places. Imagine all these people raising, against the system. But we have a whole, oppressing society that, try to hide all the things. So it's a battle, it's a balance and a battle. So that's it.
Yeah, it's not just the companies, right? Yeah, we are just blaming the companies. Yeah, of course they have a lot of to do and they have the power and everything, but yeah, it's a movement.
We don't even know that we're supporting this behavior, because if a person that is suffering under an oppressive behavior in one company, they raise their hand and they try to do what's right and they tell everyone what's happening, they're going to maybe start a discussion, maybe start something that could become a change, for other people. But this person is never going to get a job again because all the other companies are not going to accept them. And we are supporting these other companies that are not accepting this person, and we don't even know. So it's kind of like, if 10 people raise their hands, then 10 people that are going to get hammered. If 20 people raise their heads, it's 20 people that are going to get hammered. It's kind of like, if everyone raise their heads, it's going to make a big change, but then it's going to be chaos because our society is based on oppression. If we try to remove the oppression, society just crumbles.
Yeah, but I only believe in change, caused by chaos. I try to see differently, but I can't, because all revolution, all the things that we need changed, in the past was through that kind of, balance and shaking and even destroying the structure, the roots, and, it's my opinion.
But it's very difficult. If you see the balance sheet, the return of money from Carrefour didn't change. Just only 1 week. Only 1 week. And the rest of the quarter, trimester, the quarter, it's the same. No problem for the quarter. No problem about the money. And you have a big movement against Carrefour in Brazil, but unfortunately, this movement is very weak. It's not like the movement, for example, about boycotting an anti-gay companies, like, for example, in the United States and Europe. Here in Brazil and part of Asia, it's very different. It's very,
we forget
this movement. It's very weak.
It goes away. It doesn't last enough time to have really a change. It's gonna last like 2 weeks, a month, maybe, and then something else is gonna pop up, and we're gonna forget it, and something else, we're gonna start over another movement that's going to last like a few weeks. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I think it's a problem that we have here in Brazil. It's not just about LGBT companies with LGBT problems or Black problems. They just have a problem during a week, and then it's to stop it. This movement doesn't go on, and I think that it has to change.
It is really comfortable. Like, okay, why will I like stop buying the things I like, stopping doing the things I want to protest about something that's probably not going to change, So it's fun for a week, but then after, I just want to return to my normal life because it's not going to make a big difference anyway. So, and they know that, like the big guys behind the system, they know that, because back in the day when they were really oppressive, that you couldn't do anything, that's when people actually have the motivation to want change and to suffer for that. But nowadays they just let us do whatever we want, because we're going to cancel a company like this week, but the next week they're going to continue just fine. Everyone's going to forget that and life goes on.
It's a very good point, because Felipe said about Madeiro, and I was in Brasilia, in a meeting in Brasilia with a lot of guys, professors, a lot of guys against Madeiro. And I told them, we spend a lot of time
in Madeiro.
In Madeiro, drinking. I think it's the best beer, and the best sandwich of Brasilia. And we was there talk about this a big discussion in Madeiro. Drink beer, I love the beer of Madeiro, and I love the sandwich of Madeiro. What can I do?
Can I just add something? It's just like, maybe it's just like Engel's said, if you want to change it, you have to go against it. They are supporting a government that is killing indigenous people, Black people. So if you are really worried about changing it, you're not going to spend your money in this place. Otherwise we are not going to change. And I totally agree with you when you said about the time. Like, of course, Carrefour, they just were kind of punished for 2 weeks, right? Because maybe they just changed it because they were kind of pressured. They were forced to do something and to hire black workers, just to show they are worried, but we know they're actually not. So it's really hard, because if we don't act, it's going to be the same. We are part of it. So it's deep, actually.
Yeah, and at the same time that we know that people just forget about, we still remember of it. So why I'm not expecting that people change. I expected that I change my actions, not the other ones. So okay, you cannot stop consuming Carrefour, Madeiro, or anything, but I will, because it matters to me. So I think that it's something singular to each one.
But let me add a point here. For example, about changes, we need to take in consideration that we have a conservative country a lot, the whole Latin America. And let's, compare, for example, the Black people in the United States. They have money, they have, a whole organization, they have even university for Black people. And only now we are seeing, some Black people here, make some money. So, the changes is going on, but we need time and to see these changes, deep changes. And about the comfortable, that sometimes we feel that we are in a comfortable zone because Brazil don't care about this topic, this issue. But the necessity of change come with the feeling with your heart. For example, if something bad happened in your family with this company, caused by this company, I doubt that I'm good because it's hard to avoid this company. I really doubt it. So sometimes you need, to pretend the situation, to imagine, the situation occurring with us. Because sometimes it's hard, it's almost impossible. But if something happened with your family and so on, I doubt if you don't avoid, and even fighting against the company, and because it's kind of, we try to avoid to see this same thing occurring with us, close of us. But it's important to do that, to imagine that situation, because this kind of thing, provide us energy to change something that, none of those things, occurred in my family, but I like to always think all men, occurred with other families. So
yeah, you said something very interesting, but I don't believe in individual movements. I believe in social movement. If something take care about me, it's affecting me. This is not a movement.
But all the
must be a social movement because
The
just
social
one
movement
thing.
begin with one
Yeah.
people, sometimes, individual actions.
I can't, I really, I don't believe individual movement. I believe in social movement.
Yeah, but I think
It's a big movement.
Yeah, and I think it's part of the one individual person, like a person, it's not going to change, but we need this person to start to change. So, but of course, it doesn't happen this way if you don't have like someone to lead or someone to unite a group of people to really start the movement and to become a social movement and to go on and on and on. So yeah, I think Anders and Endo and Jefferson, they are saying pretty much the same thing, but yeah, it's gonna converge or it's gonna
Yeah, but
match in a
imagine,
better way.
let's use you, I mean, I will use you as example. Imagine we are waiting a person that, create some, initiative to learn English. Let's have, everyone wait. The movement social, I'm waiting, still waiting. But you have to, face a lot of problems, overcome a lot of different things, problems and so on. And, it's hard to be entrepreneur here in Brazil, but what he have done, it's very important for us. And now we are creating a movement, it's a movement driven by one people in the beginning, but now we are here in, I don't know how many, but it's a kind of, step-by-step thing.
Yeah,
Don't forget the motto. The motto is we can and not I can.
yes. Yeah, that's
yes,
true.
we can, not I can.
That's true.
That's the difference. The difference.
But there is always a person, everyone feels in different levels, everyone is affected by things in different levels, and it's usually the person that suffers the most that's going to take the bigger action, right? If we take a look at the LGBT movement, Stonewall, everything started because the trans people were the ones that were suffering the most, and they were the ones that like stood up and tried to make the difference, and they were the ones that suffered the most, that got the most beaten up. So like there are always some people, there are always levels of how you're affected by a problem. And usually the people that are most affected are the ones that's going to stand up like for real, but there's the need for someone to start. There's always the need for a spark to ignite anything you're gonna do.
Yeah, I think that it's really simple to think about it. We are here on TNT. We all love TNT. Imagine that someone just arrived here and say, Jesus, I hate TNT. And I will stop with this project. Phil will arrive here and say, I will stop it with it. No, we will not stop with it because we are really interested in continuing this project, and together we can do it. So as Jefferson and Endo as well said, it's something that influence everyone here. So I can start a movement, but it's not stronger enough if you all are not with me. So we need each other.
Jeez, I hate TNT. I'm gonna close this.
Okay, I will kick you off.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's I don't know if we have been talking about the LGBTQIP plus community on TNT this month. I think we haven't, but in the past we had a week to talk about that. Just because one person was decided to do that, to annoy everybody about it. So it really takes one person to decide to really do the first step, to take the first step. So Leo is doing that. So every time he's bringing this topic, and it's really important to do that, you know. And then, okay, we arrive here, and then, okay, Leo get like Andel, Jeff, Junior, Bruna, Philip together. Okay, we bought your idea, and then we start a movement that can become a social movement, but we're not sure. Like a social movement, it's a endeavor that we create, and it's like to start a company, you know, to have a social movement, because you need to sell your idea, you need to get people together, you need to organize stuff, and to have a ritual, to have a lot of things. You need money, you need, you know, politics, you need leaders from
Empowerment.
And yeah, you know, a lot
That's
of
very important.
yeah. But it starts with one person.
So thank you so much, Leo, for starting this movement today.
I don't believe in this kind. I think everything in the history, it's a movement, it's a group, it's not individual. I can't believe in this. Yes, we can, but I can, really. Yeah, it's everything, it's a movement, it's a group. There's a lot of guys, there's a lot of people, there's a lot of gays.
That's
not
why
just
TNT
one.
is so nice. Yeah. That's why TNT is really nice, because we may not agree, you know, but we're just here sharing. So it's
You know,
The thing is,
I agree, but I also say that it should. I agree with Jefferson. That's the point. I totally agree. You know,
Yeah.
but I also like
at the same time,
just another
Yeah.
point, you know.
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know. It's not something against each other. You know, it's something
Yes.
Ah,
adding up to the whole thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's why
like-
we started a movement.
Yeah.
By the way,
We just can have a TNT, a strong TNT with a lot of guys, no? Strong guys, all of them looking forward something very special. This, I think TNT is a community just to talk and to be better a lot of subject about life, communication, and etc. It's very
there is a TED
But-
talk
but-
that talks about how to start a movement. Then check it out later. It's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, to start something new is demands a lot of energy, and we have to, you know, we needed to have one person to start. Of course, you know, we'll develop, you know, becoming a movement and so on. You need to have the support, but you know, at the same point, we wasn't required to have the first person in all, you know, movement that we have, you know, Black people, LGBTQI+, and man, all kind of movement, you know, even in science, you know, we can, you know, see a lot of people that now, you know, they became famous, but, you know, started right and drive it first by one person. And of course, then they needed support. But it's like the Brazilian quote, eu não concordo nem discordo, muito pelo contrário.
There's no translation for that. You know?
No translation for that, yeah.
This is PSDB party. PSDB party.
The thing is that
Fernando Henrique Cardoso.
the thing is that by the end, nobody's gonna win and nobody's gonna lose. Much for the country, everybody's gonna lose and nobody's gonna win.
Yeah. But you know, Bruna says a very interesting thing that you know, I've been thinking a lot about it, that we here on TNT, we kind of test, you know, have testing that it's possible to talk about, you know, important questions without creating noise, because we have our own opinion, but we have running a conversation for 1 hour, and this is very magical, important. So this is something that I've been thinking a lot.
Guys, it's special and it's been amazing, but we have no more time. So yes, you can answer this survey that I sent on the chat. And
No, we can answer the survey.
We can.
We can answer the survey.
For example, Leo now have the power to end this conversation because we don't have.
He's gonna start the movement of everybody going to bed.
Only he can do this.
Yes. So
Leo, you
guys,
have the power. You have the purchase power of LGBT community political doing now.
so guys, I have to say goodbye to you all. Have a great week and see you here again next week on Wednesday at 10 p.m. Bye bye, guys.